Once again, Santa has called upon us to do battle in Christmas Village. Do you hear the call? Hey guys, welcome to the workshop. Today, of course, we are back at, let's see, we're back in the Christmas Village. Words escape me. But that's okay. And today we're going to work on some snow goons. It's basically, they're snowmen, but they have shields, axes, scarves, toques, or you can have, shields, top hats, hammers. So we have two different kinds of snow goons, and we are going to work on the top hat ones first. So we're just going to take the axe guys, put them off to the side, and we're going to try working with our with the Citadel contrast paints, since these guys are decked out in, since I sprayed them in a white color because snow. So what I've done is I've gathered the majority of my contrast paints. I still have a few more, but they're easy to get to. So what they say about the contrast paints is the contrast paints are basically one coat, one and done. One coat, and that's it. So we're gonna see. Now what I'm doing first is I am going to pick a blue that I like. Probably pick Aethermatic blue, because I want to give the I want to give them a kind of a coat of blue to kind of give you that blue shading that you see in the snow and stuff like that. And what we're doing is we're just shaking the living crap out of the contrast paints. Because contrast paints, they like to settle. Kind of like that. You want it to be nice and a good, nice, solid. Oops. A nice, good, solid color like that, where you can see that this one is not. It has separated, but they're easy to remix. All you have to do is just basically do what I'm doing here. It's just shaking the living crap out of them. Now, using the contrast paints, and if they work well, these 4 or 8 guys are actually going to paint up really fast. I mean, we're not taking them to a character level. We don't have to. These guys are just snow goons. These are the guys that your characters fight and just, kind of. They're kind of known as a paper army. They should be relatively easy to defeat. No, actually, I don't want that one. It's not the right blue. Now it's just finding the blue, or the shade of blue that I want. No, there's no shaker in this one. That's okay. But we're going to put one in there right now. We're going to shake it up. Yeah, and then you can hear the shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. So again, basically what I'm doing is I'm just doing a really quick job of these guys because they're going to be kind of fun to do. And they're going to be, you know, quick and easy. You might go back and do a little bit of highlight on them, but I don't think we're going to do much. Okay. Now we just need a good brush to brush things on with. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bunch of the blue here on the palette. Now, I have been doing War in Christmas Village for quite a few years now. Started off with doing Santa, Krampus, Saint, the actual Saint Nick, not Santa Claus, a reindeer, and stuff like that. That was kind of the first batch that I did, and that was pretty cool. And since then, Jackalope Games has provided me with different Christmas things to do. And it's been an absolute blast doing these. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a thing called contrast medium, and what it does is it thins out the shade or the contrast paint, but it doesn't change the pigmentation. It still leaves us with a nice heavy pigmentation. And well, basically, now what we're going to do, we're just going to take the blue, and we're just going to throw it on there. And if it's thin, that's perfect. I mean, I don't want the snowman to be blue. I still want him to be white, but I want to have a blue undertone. And we will be doing this to all of the guys eventually. Like I said, right now we're going to work on these guys. Oh, I forgot the head on the other one. I'll have to go back and do that. go back to the guy that I did first, and you know, make sure that we get the head. There we go. Hopefully I put out enough paint to get through these 4 guys. I mean, if not, whatever, just make more. There we go. And we'll see. We'll see. I might just be able to pull it off. I may have, just put out enough paint. Lucky guess, as it were. Well, there we are. The snow guys. And it doesn't really show up very well, unfortunately, on camera, but there is a nice, you can kind of see here that there's a little bit of blue, and there is blue around the snow at the base. That's kind of what we want to achieve. Just nice light blue. There we go. All right. And again, we're just gonna kind of keep going with these guys, and it's all about shaking the paint, getting that white off the bottom. So the contrasts are, they're kind of working like a paint and a shade all all at once. They have enough pigmentation to get us kind of where we need to be. Huh. All right. Next up, you're using a black Templar, so it's a black paint, and we are using that for the top hat. And again, we're just gonna layer it on there. Let the paint do its thing. There we go. That's one hat down. Just filling in, painting the spots over. This is contrasts are a great way to get a lot of miniatures done fast. Dang. Now, I haven't bothered to do any cleanup on these models. You know, I haven't bothered to take the mold lines off or anything like that. I just let them exist the way they came out of the box. I really didn't see a need to do so. These are nice miniatures, just the way they are. It's nothing that you really need to do to them. But of course, now that they have gone to 3D printing files that you can just get, the mold lines won't be much of a problem. we are. 4 hats. Now we're going to revisit the black a little bit later on because you know the coal eyes and the coal buttons on the dress, or not dress, on the body of the snowman. So we'll just keep that black handy for later. All right, I'm going to go to a regular paint. It's White Scar by Citadel. Same as the people who make the contrast. So the paints will be compatible, obviously. Well, maybe not, obviously, but they're going to be compatible. And I'm going to take just an old brush. We are going to dry brush some white back onto the model, just lightly. You don't want a lot. But we kind of want to, you know, downplay that blue a little bit more. We don't want it quite as sharp. Except, of course, in the deepest recesses. But we don't want to wipe out the blue. Again, all it's doing is just kind of just taking some of the power, some of the brightness of that blue back into into the snow. So you're just working, wipe off most of the white. And we're going to cheat the metal a little bit too. And when do we get there? Dang. Oh. Yeah. And some of the other stuff is going to be nice and quick. We are going to keep that white nearby because we're going to need it later for the little flower on the hat and maybe the band around the hat. Maybe. We'll see. We just clean our brush. Make sure we get as much of that white off of there as we can. Now, we're going to go back to the black. Take out our make things look bigger glasses, 0.2 or 2.0, because they're awesome. Use the little that's left on the palette. Hmm. Oh. Yeah. Sometimes you make mistakes. That's okay. Because even with contrast paints, you can go and fix up mistakes. There we are. Okay. He's done. He's next. He's done. He's next. Now I'm just using plain water to thin out the black a little bit because I don't want to try and keep the pigmentation. I want it washed out just a little. What are we doing his head? Because it did. And this one, take your time. Okay, this is just the face it didn't do. Okay. There we go. 4 of those guys, all done. There we are. Good. Now we're going to take a color. Called the Silicon Gray. Provided I can find it, of course. Got it. And the basilicum gray is actually what we are going to simulate the steel or the metal with. Again, shake the ever living crap out of it. Here's our big brush again. We're not gonna mix it. We're just gonna use straight basilicum gray. And it's just gonna be working the gray in. And then for the shield, carefully go around the edge. And then put as much go, and then you just kind of find the parts that were missed. Maybe go over the nubs to make the metal a little darker. Let's give it a little, a little difference. So it's one hammer. We'll do things a little differently each, Make it a little individual. These are going to give you, good looking, but fast. Just kind of what you're looking for when you're looking for, like a board game that has, like 60, 70, 80 pieces. You want to paint them all up, make your board game look good. I think the best thing you could do is just map out the colors and potentially do it in contrast, because contrast, like I said, allows you to paint up multiple miniatures, figures, whatever, fast. Then you can get them on the table, get them into your game as quick as possible. I mean, it hasn't quite been an hour, and I'm getting very close to having 4 goon snowmen, snow goons, as I think as it's packaged, ready to go to play on the board. I mean, yeah, it doesn't necessarily have the shine of an actual metallic. But I mean, you can do that too. You can totally mix and match contrast with regular. You saw me do it on this guy. There we are. 2, 3, 4. 4 snowmen, and the metal on their weapons are finished. Well, yeah, the metal parts. Pretty much. I think I'm pretty much. No, not quite. Oh. Now we have to think about what kind of brown do we want, because we have the arms, and so if we look here, we have the arms here, and then the back of the shield actually is wood as well. So we need to figure out what color of wood do we want. color this is. That'd be perfect for his arms, I think. I am not using the right brush. All right, so we are taking it's called Garrigax Sewer. An unlikely color, because sewer. I'm going to give it one thing. Of contrast medium. Thin it out just a little. And we are going to go to the smaller what? Yeah, I guess so. All right. Oh, guys, I'm having a rough day today, and I hope you'll forgive me. Excuse me, folks. There we go. So you're kind of getting a kind of dark sort of wood for the arms. Jeepers. I don't know. quite know where the cough came from and hope it doesn't stay. Yeah, I'm kind of liking, how my snowmen are beginning to look. But having a white base also makes any place that you miss in painting a glaring mistake. You cannot deny where you have missed. If the arms are slightly different colors or slightly different darknesses, I should say. That's okay, because maybe whoever created the army couldn't find the same sticks for all of these snow goons. And they're just using whatever it is that they can find, whatever sticks. So some of them might be, a lighter brown, some of them might be a darker brown, some of them might be, any kind of thing in between. And things are looking quite good for these guys. Make sure you go and turn your miniatures every which way. Make sure that you get the spots that you want to get. Check for any spots that you didn't get. And move on. And there we are. And got a couple minutes left. We will see Yeah. We can get the noses done real quick. They're tiny. There's only 4 of them. Again, we're going to use our smaller brush. We're not going to bother to water it down. Think we can do it? I think we can. Last one. And there we are. Now we still have, we still have a long way to go. We're not done yet. So the next, in our next visit, we will finish these guys and start the other ones. And hopefully we can, make a decent go of it next time. But as you can see, those are coming along. Those are coming along nice and quick. For the most part, they're pretty much done. We have the corncob pipe, back of the shield, the shaft of the hammer, and the scarf, and the handle of the shield to do. So just a couple of small things, and then these guys will be finished, and then we can move on to these guys. We're going to be doing a lot of this. We're going to be doing a lot of the same stuff that we did with these ones on the other ones. So there'll be no big surprises, but there will be a few differences, obviously. So in the meantime, stay safe, be safe, and as always, paint safe. And we'll see you next time in the workshop.